In the first problem, we have 4 plus 3i plus negative 5 plus 7i. We combine real terms, giving us negative 1, and then we combine imaginary terms, giving us positive 10i. So the final answer is negative 1 plus 10i. Okay, for the next example, we have negative 2 plus 3i. Let's distribute the negative, giving us positive 3 minus 3i. The 3i's actually cancel, giving us just a positive 1. And that is adding and subtracting complex numbers. We can then multiply complex numbers. When multiplying, we would distribute as you normally would. And we want to reduce all terms so that the highest power I is raised to is 1. And we did notice that pattern up above. Here we go. That I to any power can be written in terms of I. So if you want to save this blue box, write it somewhere and have it handy. But let's go back down here. Alright, so for the first problem, we want to multiply through. We distribute as normally. Giving us a negative 6 plus 9i. Distribute again, we get minus 4i plus 6i squared. We can simplify. We get negative 6 minus 5i plus 6i squared. Well, that's the same as 6 times negative 1. So we get negative 6 minus 5i minus 6, negative 12 minus 5i. And that's our final answer. Let's try this next one. We have 2 minus 3i squared. So that's the same as 2 minus 3i times 2 minus 3i. We multiply through, distributing as we normally would. So we get 4 minus 6i. We do the same with the second term, giving us minus 6i plus 9i squared. When we simplify, we get 4 minus 12i plus 9 times negative 1. So we get negative 5 minus 12i as our final answer. Alright, so take a moment, make sure that you do understand how to add and multiply complex numbers. Next, we're looking at division. Now, just like radicals, and we've already looked at those are roots, we already know that we don't like to see a square root in the denominator, and that we can multiply by a conjugate. So let's actually look at a more complex example. But we can multiply by its conjugate pair to get rid of the radical in the denominator. We follow the same train of thought when we have a complex number in the denominator. We don't like to see complex numbers in denominators either. So what we're going to multiply by is by the complex conjugate. So if our denominator is 3 minus I, then the complex conjugate is 3 plus I.